A three-time felon proves to a Las Vegas judge exactly why she was right to deny him probation. The 30-year-old launched himself at the judge after he realized he'd be going back to prison for his latest conviction of attempted battery with substantial bodily harm. Watch.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Now, predictably, in this day and age, as I was listening to some local news coverage on the situation, there are those who are coming out in defense of the violent felon who left the judge with a minor head injury. They're saying that the man is mentally ill, diagnosed schizophrenia, and that the state is failing him, so I guess he's a victim too. But he was deemed competent enough to stand trial, and I've noticed that the way a lot of young people today are being raised, they're given zero tools to handle their anger and to regulate their other emotions. And so when they grow up and they hear the world tell them that nothing could ever be their fault, they think to themselves that they could never be the problem. There has to be something wrong with them that's being done to them by society. Aside from that, the mass proliferation of drug use, why else would every single criminal nowadays be mentally ill or at least claim it? That hasn't always been the case. Mental cases made small portions of jails, and now they make up like half the inmate population if you talk to law enforcement officers. So something is definitely up with this. And as if our crime problem isn't bad enough on its own, we have a wide open border welcoming more in by the busload each day. Judicial Watch, in a new report using year-end figures put out by ICE, claimed that nearly half of illegal immigrants arrested in the U.S. in 2023 had multiple criminal charges and convictions. Go figure. ICE arrested over 170,000 of them, and that's with their hands being tied. Imagine how much higher that figure would be if they could do their job without interference from the Biden administration. Judicial Watch explains, quote, among the most pervasive criminal offenses were driving under the influence, DUI, and possession of serious drugs. Assault was also quite common among the undocumented perpetrators arrested last year, and so were weapons offenses, sexual assault, and burglary. Thousands of the arrested migrants stole vehicles, were charged and or convicted of fraudulent activities, robbery, forgery, and property damage. More than 1,000 committed homicide and kidnapping and other types of threats not specified but considered serious enough by the government to be included in the year-end figures, end quote. And if Biden doesn't want to believe these figures, all he has to do is look out the window of the White House. And that's because an illegal alien from Venezuela, who was initially caught and then released thanks to Biden's policies back in 2022, was just arrested for wandering around the Capitol with a literal machete, a butcher's knife, and a brick. But if you ask Nikki Haley, she's right there with Biden on saying that it's wrong to call illegals criminals, even if the very fact of them being here is in violation of federal immigration law, meaning that they're breaking the law. Take a listen.
But let's keep in mind, these people that are wanting to come here, they want to come for a better life too. They have kids too. They have a heart too. So we don't need to be disrespectful. We don't need to talk about them as criminals. They're not. They're families that want a better life and they're desperate to get here.